Welcome viewers, I'm just in a test world at the moment, just checking out some things on how I'm actually going to build my house in this episode that you are watching now. I'm just trying out a couple things using not just the landmarks that I actually already have in my series, but also using these path marks to actually put out the boundaries of my house and see if it will actually build it successfully, including all of the transparent glass blocks and the cobble, by instead of using a template like I planned, actually making a blueprint that needs both cobble and glass. You can see the actual template that I used, not template, I need to use different words so you understand what I'm saying. The design that I used here, which should get replicated around the entire outside of the house, if what I'm doing is actually correct. I'm not sure if it'll just build it once, or if it will actually continue onwards using the template repeatedly. That would be what I would hope would actually happen. So I guess we're about to find out. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to simply just use a template and perhaps just use it twice. Actually, that probably won't work. Let's just really hope this works. Otherwise, I might have to put the glass in by hand, which would be a pain, but not the end of the world. Okay, it is actually repeating, and the pattern seems to actually be working. 2 cobble, 2 glass. The only thing I'm worried about is whether it is going to go ahead as planned around the corners. But I have made it 8 wide, and it is 24 across, which should... oh no, maybe I miscalculated. Yeah, that's not right. Okay. It's definitely 8 across, but I must have miscounted. Ah, yes, I made it 26 across, not 24. Still, this was a good test, and this should show that it will probably work. I just need to find out... yeah, that's a problem. I just need to find out the actual dimensions I have to make the house in order to make the design actually work. So I'll get back to you once I do actually have that sorted out. Simply put, instead of doing a by 8 design, because I want the inside to be 24 by 24, my skyscraper that I'll be building, but that means the outside has to be, of course, 26 by 26, so there's actually a boundary around it. So instead of using an 8 wide template, I'm just going to have to use a 12, because that goes into 26 nicely. Alright guys, welcome back. I have pretty much figured it out, but there is some kind of fatal flaw. This is probably the design I am going to be using, this 2-3 window-like design. I do actually quite like it, but more importantly, it does tend to overshoot if you try and go around a perfect corner, especially if you're trying to build the entire house. The main problem is it doesn't copy the corner and overwrite it in the same spot. It's a bit hard to explain, but basically, the design starts here with 1 piece of cobblestone and then the 2 glass. And it copies that pattern right to the end, ending with the cobblestone as it should. Now if it repeated the design perfectly, cobblestone should get placed here again, and then 2 glass. Unfortunately, what it does is copy the design 1 place over. So instead, you end up with 2 things of cobblestone and then the glass, which then pushes it out this side an extra place. And then the same thing happens on the next corner, and the same thing again here. So you get a lot of weird errors in your design. Now if I was just making a pure cobblestone house, this wouldn't be a problem at all. I'd just make it a 1 tower, and repeat it, and that would be perfectly fine. But because I'm trying to make the design actually appear as it builds, I'm having this problem. So what I will do in my actual series is pretty simple. I'll just build it 1 wall at a time. If you're doing just 1 wall, hello Bisc. And if you're just doing 1 wall at a time, that error doesn't actually appear, and everything should be fine. Just means I'm just going to have to monitor it a little bit more as it builds. But no serious problems. I'm going to head to my real world and start checking this stuff out for real. Welcome back viewers, I am just about to get started. Just one thing, I'm not completely sure I'm going to have enough materials, mainly because I need a lot of steam engines. Well, technically, I only need 1, and that could build my entire house. But I don't want to be waiting there the entire episode's length just while it builds 1 wall. So I'm going to head off mining just a little bit in search of some extra iron. I think what ignore that, please. Oh dear. I'm just going to head up, and what I'm going to do is just put everything away, because it will be a little bit dangerous. I'm going to head into that ravine, which, as you all know, I hate going into, and I'm just going to mine around there for the materials I need. So I'm just going to deposit all my items into a chest, just like so, seeing as I don't really want to risk all of these. Now I'm going to head down with my... should I risk the diamond pick? I don't think so. I'll head down with my emerald pickaxe, some extra torches, some cobblestone just in case. Do I have any sand or gravel? Unfortunately, no. It might just help in the ravine, that's all. Also put my alchemy bag away, and my landmarks, and that should do the trick. Now, although my main objective for this quest is to just pick up some iron... Wait, did I just get lost? Where's the ravine? Did I walk straight... Oh, right, that lava bridge is the ravine, isn't it? Maybe. I'm lost already. Sounds just like my Zelda adventure map. But yes, I am also going to be looking for all the other resources. I might as well clear as much of that ravine as I can before I get too terrified of doing it. This is not it. Where is the bridge? Oh, here we are. And look, there's some iron straight up there. Wonderful. Also some permafrost. I might be calling that the wrong name. If it is, they should change its name to permafrost. I think it's a great name. So I'm just going to mine as much of this as I can. If something interesting happens, I'll begin recording once again. I have a question for my viewers, actually. If you remember Season 2, it's when I actually split things up into mining episodes, building and such, and made, instead of just episode 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, I made episode 3.1, 3.2 for all those skipped bits, all those mining episodes that I skipped past, and all those things that can show actually how I do things. And of course, you can see for yourself that I don't actually cheat, so I'm actually doing all the mining. If you would like me to do that again, please leave a comment. Of course, it's not compulsory at all to watch them, you can skip past them, and you'd get just these episodes and just watch the actual episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But if you wanted to see how I went about things in my adventure and wanted to watch me squeal like a little kid when a monster jumps out in front of me, which can be rather entertaining, I do admit, you can watch those episodes if you'd like, and I can just render those up and upload them as well. So it is totally up to you. I'll leave that decision up to my viewers. Please get back to me in the comments. Oh dear, I just realized I probably should have brought a sword along with me as well. That could have been useful. Also, one of my viewers, Gek, had suggested that well, he kind of demanded, which is why I didn't respond quite nicely, but he suggested that I shouldn't be using my transmutation tablet as much in this series, which is actually something I do aim to do. That's why I am mining everything and not just diamonds and such, because I do want to have all those other ores available to me, and I don't have to actually transmute them. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to use it at all. Whenever I do need the extra materials, I will be transmuting them, but I'll also try and get a stock of everything else so I don't have to as often. Well, I reached the end of the ravine this way. Of course it scales upwards quite further. I'm sure there's a lot of ores I am missing, but as always I don't want to stay in these very long. Okay, I'm going against my word. I am actually checking out some of the upper levels, just not going too high. It just seems to get darker and darker as you rise up. And fly like eagles? I love lyric references. Unfortunately, I really am not finding too much iron. It might be just because of all the custom blocks that have been added by all the different mods. It would reduce how many of the vanilla items you actually do find. Okay, this side of the ravine seems much more promising. I already see some iron, some silver, that might be tin though. And there's even marble up the top there, which I do want to get just a bit of. Because I would rather build my house out of marble instead of cobblestone. And even though I just talked about not using my transmutation tablet, I probably will transmute some marble just so I can make my house look quite nice and shiny, I suppose. Actually, I might as well answer a question in the comments right now. People noticed that my transmutation tablet had all of the recipes already in it from my last season. And that was basically because of the Explosive Plus mod. This isn't actually a new world, it's actually just been entirely regenerated with all of the new mods. So what Explosive Plus will do if you use that Genesis bomb, not only does it just reset the world and destroy all your buildings, but it completely regenerates it, so if you have new mods and new ore generation and such, it'll actually create the world with all those new items and new ores and new blocks. So it is incredibly useful in the fact that I'm using the same world as last season, but I'm getting all this new Stormcraft items and the other mods I'm using as well. So that's also why the transmutation tablet has the same items, because it is technically just me continuing onwards, but with none of my stuff. Well, the ravine turned out to be rather safe after all. I can even have a quiet, calm conversation with you guys. Well, one-sided conversation at least. But if you do comment, I do read them all. I try and reply as much as I can, but I do have a lot of videos going up, a lot of comments, so I'm sorry if I don't reply to your comment personally. I'm sure somebody else will. I do have quite the community of helpful people, and the ravine keeps going. Oh, cool, that's a block that I haven't actually showed you guys yet, so I will travel over there and try and do it safely. Okay, you can see it down below there. Let's just light the place up a little bit. You can see it looks just like cobblestone, but a little bit strange, which is pretty much what it is. It is a different version of cobblestone, which the fossil archaeology mod does actually add. So instead of giving you cobblestone, it should give me some bones, or even some fossils and such, which I believe I didn't actually show you. All I did show you last time was the actual frosted over blocks that give you similar items, but not the same. Anyway, I'm going to head back. I've got myself 27 iron, which should be plenty. So first off, straight away, I've just head to my transmutation tablet. I'm just going to put in 1 cobblestone and take out 1 marble, just because that's what I'll be using for my house. And I'll do the same thing, just to grab some marble brick as well. And also a little bit of glass. Okay. Now I'll just sleep until daytime, so I can get on all that crafting and building. First off, better just grab some food, of course. Okay. Now, I also need something different from those land... Oh, damn it, I got rid of all my food. I could have transmuted some extra. But anyway, that will be fine. What was I saying? Oh, I don't need just land plots, which I actually have. Actually, I better grab back all of my inventory first. Alchemy bag. Everything in. Everything in the bag. Except for the bag, or else I'll lose it. And that will be quite the pain. I've had to cheat that into my inventory back many times in previous series because of my clumsiness. I'll try and make sure that doesn't happen in this one. So let's see. Now that I have all my inventory back, let's make those different kind of land plots. The blue ones, the landmarks, are pretty much area marks, but if you actually want a path, such as when you're building a new house, you do need something different. Now unfortunately, I don't have the materials I need. I'm going to head to the desert and just grab a little bit of cactus. Nothing too serious and nothing too difficult, thanks to, luckily, where I built my mine. Hello, Thorncraft. I mean, slime? Thorn slime? What do you call these? I guess you call them dead. Okay. So now that I have that cactus, I can turn into cactus dye, which I can then turn into... what do you call them? Path marks, maybe? That sounds about right. Either way, we're about to find out. So let's just see. All I'll do is just craft these. What? How do you... No, I've forgotten something from vanilla Minecraft again, haven't I? You burn them. Right. Really should have remembered that. But that's fine. Let's just turn some of this into that cactus green. Now, of course, I can transmute this coal into charcoal, but I'm just going to leave it for now. Also, of course, just going to need some sticks, so I'll just quickly grab that while those cactus greens are being made. Now, should be done by now. Oh, nearly. Come on, there we go. Now I'm going to need quite a few more of these. Actually, 3 is the perfect amount, I believe. No, actually, 2 is enough. In that case, let's not do anything with that and just grab some extra redstone torches. Now I'll craft these path marks. That doesn't sound right to me, but let's just see. Path marks! Ha! StarrowApi is amazing! No, StarrowApi fails a lot. But okay, now that I have these, I'm nearly ready to build my house. Now all I'm going to need is some extra steam engines. Well, not extra, I haven't built one yet. But I need some, not stream engines, steam engines. Okay, so I'm going to need some extra stone gears, some pistons, and then some more glass and cobble. I have plenty of cobble, but I don't have any glass yet. Well, I have that one that I just crafted, but I'll have to grab a few more. So let's see, I'll also smelt up that iron, because I'll need that in the pistons. So let's just do that quickly. Actually, I'll smelt up everything just while I'm doing other things. Okay, I'll start off by making all of that extra glass. I don't want to head to the desert and smelt it all, so I will just transmute this quickly, just to save some time. I only have so much time to actually make these episodes after all. So let's see, glass. Okay. Come on, there we go. Now, let's just check if I have enough to actually make everything. I'm going to need quite a bit of sticks, quite a bit of stone. No real problem there. Redstone, okay. Let's just make sure I have everything ready. Wooden planks. Where's some redstone? Should be some in this chest here. Don't have too much, but that should be fine. I'm also going to need some cobble, which for some reason I can never find, even though I have so much of it. There we are. Cobble. I also need a whole heap of sticks, so I'll take out some extra wood and just craft that. I always forget where I put everything. Okay, let's just craft all of this into sticks, and I'll begin turning these into gears. I'll just skip ahead. Alright, I went ahead and just made 16 out of those sticks and some of that cobble. Now I should be able to grab some of that iron out now. 10, that'll do the trick. Actually, I want about... how many? 12, so I'll just wait a little bit longer. Okay, I've got the 12 iron bars. There's still some more smelting as that goes. So I'll just make those pistons now. I'll just overlay it and go ahead and craft it. Just like so. Let's just sort this out a little bit because I want at least 12. There we go. Redstone and then the wooden planks. Okay, I'll just throw everything else on the floor. And then I'll craft the steam engines. So, pistons at the bottom, stone gears. Oh, I don't have enough stone gears. Better just make a few more extra then. Here we are. And then I'll make another 8, which is a bit of overkill, but that'll be fine. Don't think anyone complains about overkill. I'm sure the stone gears will come in handy later on. Actually, no, that was perfect. That was a complete fluke. Now, wait, am I actually short on cobble? No. There we go, 12 steam engines. Wonderful. That will power my builders and make sure they're going pretty damn quickly. I might not actually have the coal needed to run them for the entire time, but let's hope I have enough, or else I might... Actually, I'm really not sure. I might be cutting it pretty close. So what I am going to do is take all of this coal I've found and just transmute it quickly straight into some charcoal. So I just get twice as much. So I hopefully have enough to actually run all of my steam engines. Okay. This is nearly done. Once it is, I'm going to find a nice plot of land to begin building. Actually, I can make the template now at least. So I will do that first. Let's see here. I'm going to need glass and more cobble. Now I also need my architect's table. Those, where am I? There they are, landmarks. And that should do the trick. No, I actually need a blueprint for the way I'm actually doing it. These templates are pretty much going to be useless, but they might come in handy with building the roof, because that is something that I haven't really planned and tested in that other world. So what I need to do is make a blueprint, which isn't too hard. It's just like making a template, but you just use some lapis instead of the ink sac. So I should have some extra paper lying around. In fact, I have the correct amount. So I'll just use 8 of these 9 in building this blueprint. There we go. Blueprint. And now I'll actually build the blueprint that's going to be repeated around my house. So let's see, I just need a nice flat bit of land to get this underway. Now, how high do I build each room? Each room probably going to be a different height depending on what mod's actually going into it. But I think a nice default height would be nice. Let me just think this over. You know what, I might as well follow with my usual do things by 8 and make it 8 high. Which is rather ridiculous, I think, but this will be a skyscraper, so it won't look too out of place. So that is 8 high, and that will be how much actual space is in the room. There'll be a floor beneath it and a floor on top, making it 10. Don't I have my pickaxe on me? Why don't I have it on me? Okay, let's see. Diamond pickaxe, just so I can mine this out of the way. Thank you. Now, what I will do here is just put down those landmarks. One right here, one right at the top. Hopefully I can just... I can't seem to reach it. Oh, shouldn't have wasted the glass, but it'll be fine. Okay. Now I'll just move across enough space as well, which will be 13 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It needs to be 13 because although the inside of my house will be 24 by 24, there's walls on the side that make it 16. So I'm just going to use the lowest amount of repeating patterns that I can, which is 13. So let's see. Now I'll just turn this on by right-clicking it. There we go. And then put down my architect's table. So that I'm not skipping ahead anything here, but a lot of people don't know how to do this, so I am just going over it in detail. So now I've got my basic design that is completely empty. If I tried to do this afterwards, there would have been holes in my design. That's why I actually did it first. Now I can just grab my cobble and begin actually building the thing. So let's see, I want one on the outside. Done, it's nighttime. Just going to sleep and I'll get back to this. Actually, I completely forgot. Why am I making it out of cobble? I even said earlier that I would make it out of marble so it looked better. So I'm going to transmute a whole heap of stuff into marble so I can actually do this properly. I seem to have forgotten that I'm using a blueprint now. If I'm using a template, you can make it out of anything, so dirt, cobble, doesn't really matter. But once you start using a blueprint, it makes it out of whatever it is that you actually give it. So it is important to actually give it the correct items when you're building that first design. So let's see, going to need a whole heap of marble. I really don't know how much, so I'll just fill my inventory with as much as possible. Throw out some of that, no need for that. Do I have enough glass? Well, I certainly hope so. I am really forgetful today. I want bricks for the walls, not regular marble. I'm actually just going to need bricks right now, and I'll probably use regular marble for the floors and such. So that's the basic design you saw at the start of this video, the 2 wide window by 3 and then 2, and this gets repeated twice. I'm just going to fill up the rest of the space here. Alright, taking some inspiration from those people on my server, I've decided to try and make it look a little bit more artistic, but in my quest for perfection, I've realized that it needs to be 1 block higher to allow for the floor. So annoyingly, I have to get rid of this here, and then place those landmarks once again. You can hear probably the frustration in my voice here. So I have to place it down, jump my way up. I hope you like this design. And let's see, place this back. So frustrating. Jump my way up again. I better just a second. Here we are, place the final land plot, dig my way back down. Then activate it. That should work. It's hard to tell because everything's kind of in the way. But the red, yeah, okay, that seems to have made a square. Can hope for the best. Place down that architect's table. It changes to this. And then place the blocks back down into the corners which have been destroyed. By the way, that marble bit will be the floor and the roof, but isn't actually part of the design. It won't actually get copied. Although I could make the roof come off of it, I would pretty much be building the entire building if I actually did that, and there'd be no point in using this builder and the architect's table. So now I'm going to open up the interface and make some room for what's going to come out. I'm going to put in the blueprint and name it... Sky... no, I don't have time. Nope, stop. I can't spell skyscraper, so let's just call it skywall. Hey, at least I'm honest. I seriously have no idea how to spell skyscraper. And English is my first language. Okay, that should nearly be done. I can now take out the blueprint for the skywall. Not skywally. Okay. Now I'll just mine this back up. I can probably just leave this here, I don't really mind. It can be a monument for the first wall ever built. Okay. Now everything else should be done, so I should get ready to pack up and leave once it is the beginning of day again. Because what I need to look for is a suitable area to build. A place that has a high enough aura rating for me to be happy, basically. So what I'm going to do is search around quite far and wide, be looking out for the Thorncraft blue trees, because I've heard that they only spawn in areas that have a natural high aura rating. So once I find one of them, I can build my house nearby. And it seems to be becoming nighttime, and I still don't trust you, even though I was told you are harmless. So I will sleep here for the night and begin searching tomorrow. Oh no, I did just check the time and we are out of time for today. I did hope you enjoyed this episode. It was quite a bit of fun trying to figure out how everything actually did work. But tomorrow my house will definitely be built once I search for that suitable area. And I'll be able to build my entire house using my builder and architect table. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to like and favorite, it really helps. And also watch to the end. Why am I saying this at the end of the video? But for future videos, watch right to the end, and if you don't skip, it does really help me grow. So that is all for today. SparrowApi signing off.